think we have everything ready to go ahead and put the top plate on. So a couple things we need to plug in. First, let's go ahead and plug in the receiver. So if we're holding it like this, we go on to the bottom 3 on the left side, and so that's with the smart port out this side. And we can push that all the way in. And then we also want to plug in this JST that we have for the lights. It's actually, there we go, red to red. And I'm going to put this wire in to there. Okay, and then we're going to put the lead, the SMA lead in here, and grab our VTX antenna. This is the right-handed one, since my video receiver is right-handed. And actually, I want to make sure I got a little bit of hot glue there, so let's go ahead and clean around that, because we need this, for it to be completely tight, it needs to be flush. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put that in. Let's twist this on. There we go, fully tightened on there. And so now we have all our plugs in. So now the trick is to get, you've noticed that this VTX isn't mounted anyway. It's actually going to be in there snug, that it shouldn't need anything to hold it in place. So we're going to just angle it right there in the middle. And make sure there isn't too much pushing on it. Make sure we don't get any of the wires in the way. Where that top plate needs to go. And now, oh, we might need to pop off this the lens to get everything to fit. So now we have these little smaller screws that came with the frame, and we need 6 of them for this. So as we're getting everything in together, let's make sure we get the we're getting everything together. Let's make sure we get that receiver wire under everything. And make sure our video transmitter is centered as well. Okay. Let's try this again. Screw number 1. Screw number 2. Screw number 3. Four. Five. And 6. And we can go ahead and bend out these a little bit more. And there we go. Use the battery strap on the bottom and the top. So to do that, we're going to slip it in here. Come all the way, or almost all the way through. And then push it through on this other side. And that's going to be pretty tight there. And so that should give us some grip. And usually when I place the battery, that's how I like to place the battery. Have the connector come in there. And so you could actually call this good right here. Just tighten this up. And then you can just plug in your quad there. And you can call that built. But we're going to go ahead and add on the bottom plate because you're constantly landing on this, on the battery, and that's actually one of the things that I like about this frame is it actually protects. There's a bottom plate that can protect your battery. So here we go. We have only 4 of the long screws, 4 of these long standoffs, 4 short screws, and the bottom plate. And all of this came in with the frame, except for you were short 2 standoffs. So you would have had to get 2 of these long standoffs separately, probably in a pack of 4, which gives you 2 spares, which is good to have. And so to do this, there's 4 extra holes here, and then these 2 extra ones we're not going to use. There wasn't room with the camera. So these 4 are the ones that we're going to have those standoffs coming out of. So let's move. So you just have to find these holes. They should be right by the signal, right by the ESC. So there's one right there. So I can go ahead and put one of these long screws in. then hold it with my finger and twist on this standoff. And I can go ahead and cinch it down. There we go, and stick this next one in the hole. So it's right by those wires, right in there. We want to make sure we don't get any of the wires caught under the screw there. And twist on the standoff. Cinch it down. Okay. Let's see. Grab another one. Twist it up. And cinch it down. I might just have to do this out of shot. There we go. Took me long enough. This really isn't that hard. Struggle with one of the easiest things on this build. There we go. We have those four on there. Now we can go ahead and put on this plate. It doesn't really matter which way you put it. It might matter more if you put the battery strap on the bottom, which is what some people do, but I like having the center of weight closer to the center of the quad. You get a little bit better performance that way. And if you strapped it to the bottom, especially with like a 3S battery, it's kind of more bottom heavy. So we're going to go ahead and put in these twisty ties, or sorry, these screws. And there we go, we have those screws in. Now that we have this bottom plate on, let's make sure it's on nice and tight. There we go. And now for a 4S battery, like this SMC, we'll want to put it in with the lead out the same side as the plug. So, and it's actually easiest to get this strapped in if we already have the strap just in position. And then we can go ahead and push this. It is a snug fit, which is actually pretty good. I'd rather have I like having a snug fit, but not too snug. So there we go. And then we can pull this and strap it in. And cinch it down. And this is a little bit longer than I'd like, because to really get it cinched down, we're going to have some extra there that that's hard to like push in. So let's go ahead and cut off just a little bit of this battery strap. Scissors might work a little bit better for this. So I guess the length that I'm cutting off is pretty much just the length of the tool there, just that little end. Snip. Snip. Of course I didn't get those lined up. There we go. Now when we go to cinch down, we can really get that in there. And we can even pull it tighter if we're worried about it. But then to plug it in, we can just go around here and slip that in to plug in the quad. So that's the 4S battery. And for the spec, we actually have this 3S. And so since this 3S has a longer battery lead, I plug it in the opposite side of the battery lead, or here for the power distribution board. And just center the battery. And this one, since it's a smaller battery, like, will go farther back in here, but there's more room to actually push that in for a good cinch. And then to plug it in, this is going to come around and plug in like that.